violas. This is a video for Slavonic Dance. We're going to talk through it, talk through some fingerings, some bow technique, and get you to the end of the piece. So at the beginning, we start off with, we're in a 3/4 time signature, but our tempo is presto, so that's very fast. So we're thinking in a very quick 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we, according to that, we kind of have some syncopation, some ties over the measures, over the bar lines. So that can make it kind of tricky to count. So I suggest that you start off by practicing this a little bit slower at the beginning, especially these first 2 lines of music where we have all of these ties over the bar lines. So if we were to do this slowly, watching out for F naturals versus F sharps, this is what it would sound like in that slow tempo. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Repeat left. And rest. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Repeat. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So your part all by itself, it kind of makes sense. It kind of feels a little bit off kilter because we're not changing notes on beat 1 in every measure, but once you're able to get it faster, and then I suggest you try and play this your part with a recording of this piece to kind of see how your part fits in with all the others. So start out slowly, figuring out where your notes fit into the beat. Also, hopefully you caught over on the G string at measure 9 that C natural that's marked, and then the C sharp with that high 3 that comes in later. 17 is an exact repeat of the first line, so keep practicing that. 25, we have the abbreviation DIV, which stands for divide, or divisi, which means the people sitting on the outside or the left are going to play the top notes, and the people sitting on the inside or the right are going to play the bottom notes. So here's what the top line would sound like, the top line of notes at 25. 1, 1, 1. And here's what the bottom line of notes would sound like, starting off with that high C sharp. 1. Okay, so make sure you know which notes you're playing. As we get to 33, we're on the A string, C natural, B flat. You can use an open A for this. 1, 2, 3. Check your dynamics. Okay, that repeats, so that's not so bad. As we get to 41, it gets a little bit more complicated here. We are over on the C string in 3rd position. They're suggesting in the printed fingering to be up in 3rd position, and I agree with that. It makes it always so much easier. It would be very, very difficult to do that kind of string crossing. So we're up in 3rd position. First finger on F natural over on the C string, going between F and A. For those first 2 measures, make sure you're saving your bow. One way you can start to practice this is by breaking the slur, not connecting each measure, like this. And once you get a hang of it and you're able to move your fingers more easily and faster, then you can push the tempo and slur both measures. So that happens for 2 lines all the way down to measure 56. The transition between 56 and 57 has to be very quick. We are jumping from 3rd position over on the C string back to 1st position, low 2 over on the D string. So if I'm coming from 55, 56, practice that transition a whole bunch of times so you can feel comfortable coming from over here to finding that F natural. Okay, that's a big transition into that. 57, we've just got some nice clean eighth notes. Practice that so you can make those back and forth even faster. So what your tempo will be like. At 65, this part is a little bit different than some of the other things that are going on. Again, I suggest you practice this with a recording so that you can hear how your part fits into all the others. We have a few accidentals, just starting off with that low D, E, F natural, G, A, B, then we got some C sharps in there. As we look ahead, we've got some high F sharps over on the C string, so really watch out for reaching that high 3. Here's what 65 sounds like. Okay, going between F natural, F sharp, C sharp, C natural, B flat, B natural, lots of adjusting going on. As we get into 73, we've got some more of these staccato quarter notes that we've had, some moving eighth notes, some slurred things. But as we get to 85, we're in a new key now, and we have the word spiccato. Spiccato is another Italian term. We see a ton of these, but this one is a bow technique. It means a bouncing off the string stroke. So I suggest that you start by practicing this on just a single note so that you can practice the bow technique. And the way that it looks is you're kind of creating this bowl kind of a shape. You're coming down and up. So if you can imagine kind of like a bow. I'm playing a C sharp because it's the first note there. You can also do this on an open string. But watch out for that bow bounce. You're letting the bow bounce off the string to find that sound. The wider you make your bowl, the longer the hair will be on the string and the smoother the sound. The sharper you make that, more like a V, the less time the hair will be on the string. So make sure that you're watching throughout the rest of the orchestra to figure out which kind of spiccato, so that you're all matching your sound, but that you're practicing this kind of bouncing so that you feel like you have control. If I were to start at 85, I'm starting on that low F sharp, or sorry, that's 84, to bounce. Keeping that spiccato sound. Adding the accent. Okay. As we get into 103, practice that at a slower tempo so you can feel like you're able to give those accents. And then speed up your tempo so you can feel comfortable with that at a faster tempo. As you get to the end, you continue with that spiccato, at least the end of measure before we go back to the beginning at the DC. Spiccato sound, watch for tempo changes there. Then you go back to the beginning, you take all the repeats, you play until measure 102, and then you go down to the coda. The coda has a couple of different markings. We have that staccato quarter notes with the slur and all of downs. So you're playing all of those notes on a down bow, but you're separating them. You're separating them with that staccato sound. Up bow, B flat, up bow, and then a flourish to the end. Okay, have fun practicing this piece. Start slow and then work up your tempo.